So once you know how to cast on and how to do the knit stitch, you can actually start making projects in garter stitch. Garter stitch basically means knit every stitch, and you end up with a lovely knitted effect, which is great for scarves or blankets. First of all, you need to cast on the number of stitches instructed in your pattern. So start with a slip knot and pop that on your knitting needle. I'm casting on 10 stitches using the knitted cast on technique. But there are loads of different cast on techniques, and have a look at our website for more tutorials on these, and also for a more detailed knit stitch tutorial. So now I have my stitches ready, pop that needle in your left hand and go ahead and knit every stitch until they're all on your right needle. So right needle into the front leg of the stitch from front to back, wrap your wool around your right needle, draw this through, catching the loop of wool, and then slide it off. When you get to the end of the row, simply swap your full needle back into your left hand. And then start knitting again. Right needle into front leg of the stitch, wrap your wool around, bring your needle through and slide it off. Always keep your wool to the back when knitting, otherwise you can easily end up with wrapping it around your needle and creating extra rogue stitches. A top tip to know when knitting a scarf or a piece where a neat looking edge is important is to slip the first stitch of each row knitwise. That means when you're at the start of the row, insert your right needle into the front leg of that stitch from front to back, which is called knitwise, and then just slip that stitch over onto your right needle. Then knit the rest of the row as normal. So on these swatches, you can see that this edge has a sort of triple stranded knot to it. And that's because when you get to the end of the row and then switch, so that end stitch is the first stitch on the next row, you're knitting into the same stitch twice, so your wool is looping back on itself. By slipping the first stitch on each row, you get this much smoother edge. But how you knit the edge is just a matter of preference, and it's really up to you which way you work it. The main thing to remember with garter stitch is wool to the back, and then just knit, knit, knit